How's it going, Cancerian community? Soul Tigress here with a story for this wonderful frequency. So we've called in the angels, ancestors, spirit guides, as well as divine and universal energy to come on in, help out, and protect these positive messages here. Now, some key words here, Cancerian frequency, is self-awareness. You have had more success than failures, even if you can't see it. Making it to this point of the journey has been hard. Don't forget, it has taken you showing up one day and one step at a time. Be proud that you are here. Excuse me. Be proud that you are here and that you have never given up. Thank you for your patience as I was going through what I was picking up as I was dialing in. So some of the first things I'm seeing right away, we're seeing some purple here. Purple has to do with the third eye. This is intuition, clarity, insight, and imagination. When the third eye is out of balance when it comes to the chakras, it's lack of insight, poor imagination, nightmare, and low concentration. So something with this is definitely we need to show the world the real you, your authentic self, your ideas, what it is that you see, what it is that it comes down to basically what you're seeing with your intuition, because I'm hearing a lot of clairvoyancy. Definitely we're seeing stuff, we're hearing stuff. So maybe a little bit of clairaudience too. Maybe you're starting to feel the downloads and stuff. Maybe definitely making sure to drink water and cleanse out. And something you're confused on is how to release something that you've been holding on to, something that has to do with a community, or it could have to do with an individual. What I'm hearing is this is past stuff here. So you're at odds ends with that, and this is kind of like the yin and yang energy here. Definitely there's something here in your shadow side that could be triggering you at this time, could be triggering your anxieties a little bit as well. Healing that past side, healing those past triggers is definitely going to help. It's a lot of shadow energy here. Something you're not seeing is that you are good enough. This is something we have to cultivate, something we have to grow, something we have to take care of within ourselves. Nobody can make us feel good enough except for ourselves. I mean, we can strive for wanting people to tell us that we're good enough, but then that's an endless game. That's like chasing our tails all the time. No, you are the person who can give yourself that. Something that we're confused on is confidence is the key to your success. Seeing that you have the willpower to do things, that you can be motivated. But what comes with motivation is discipline. And one of the things I've been telling a lot of my clients for the past 2 weeks is the way you combat stress is by taking care of yourself. So with this full moon in Virgo here with you are good enough, there's something here that you're slipping up on when it comes to taking care of yourself. Remember, eating good food is going to help ground out your body. Drinking plenty of water is going to help ground out the emotions. Doing breathing exercises is going to help ground out our mentality. So make sure to stop and take care of yourself. The little moments do count. Your being feels it on so many levels. Something you're confused on is believing in the impossible. Believing that there is still more to achieve. You're not done yet. For some reason you could feel like you're heading a dead end, but you're not done yet. Something else you're confused on and you don't see is expect. Expect powerful change. Ooh, change, change, change. Change is sometimes chaotic. Change is hard. Change could be you standing up for yourself when a family member is trying to speak to you in certain ways that you don't appreciate. Change could be, instead of making yourself feel less by calling yourself stupid throughout the day for minor mistakes, instead you laugh it off. You laugh at the humor of the whole thing, and you continue growing and you continue going. This is also a part of feeding the confidence. That's what I was being led to talk about. So change too is kind of like with confidence and motivation, you have to have the will to do it. You got to give yourself permission to step in your willpower and to do things as well. So this is a lot of letting go of things. Cancerians. Y'all are awesome, but when you get a hold of something with your Cancerian claw, it is really hard to let it go. That is something about your house, about your sign. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into the present a little bit more. Ancestors, angels, spirit guides, what is it that needs to come out for the present? Just know one of the biggest things, if you're feeling like you're not good enough, maybe this is why in the messages that I was hearing at the beginning, it's important for you to see that you've been showing up. Even when you felt like you couldn't show up, Cancerian, you have been showing up one day at a time, one step at a time. You have to, or you can choose to, but I like to say you have to be proud of that. You have to be proud that you haven't given up somewhere in your past. You never did that, and that's why you made it to this point now. Don't forget to be proud of the journey that you have taken. So there's a lot that I'm seeing here. First part of being highlighted to grab right away is something we're confused on. It has to do with the Six of Candles. What I'm hearing is it could be leadership, following the leader, or maybe you being the leader of things. And could it have to do with how you've been putting in work with the Seven of Presents here? Definitely one of the biggest things is the movement with your Chariot card. You need to create movement when it comes to boundaries and stepping into the fullness of who you are as a person with this Empress here. Empress energy is represented by the Taurus. It's Venus. It's also represented by the Libra. It talks about the things that we love and the things that we relate to. So there's something here you're very passionate about. It could be something that you have a lot of purpose towards. It's something that you have a lot of fertile ideas about. There's a lot of fertility here. But this all falls under you believing in the impossible and show the world the real you, and it's time to release negativity. So right here, you need to make movement in drawing up boundaries to protect this energy that you do have. This fertility of great ideas, seeing where you want to go with the future of things for you and for others. Because remember, the Empress is paired with the Emperor. So other things that we're not understanding has to do with a Queen of Presence energy, confused position. Then we have these illusions here. For some reason, you keep feeling selfish. You don't understand. You really in your mind a lot when it comes to really, you're conflicted with what you do know. This is what this is telling me. You're still putting yourself with this Page of Needles. You're still putting yourself as if you just started out with things. kind of like, but it's the unknowingness. It's like the adolescence. You ever look at an adolescent, kind of how they walk around thinking that they know things, but then they truly don't know anything? Well, for some reason, you're still stuck in this kind of cycle of things where you feel like you don't know much. And if you do try and speak up on what you do know, you could be hit with this energy of people thinking that you're trying to manipulate them or something so that you could get what you want out of a situation. You got somebody basically not understanding your actions. That's what I'm getting. But I'm not really seeing a particular person. So this could be something that you really deal with, is a lot of conflict that comes your way. And we got the Aries full moon coming up on October 6th. Then we have this Libra new moon coming up actually as of yesterday. So with that Libra, it's a lot of people pleasing energy. And then with the Aries, it deals with a lot of conflict. So this is where you're going to run at odds ends with people around you. Could be feeling a little bit more triggered by people as well. I'm not going to lie. I know I am. And it's been a pain in the butt to work through. So what we're confused on, what's tied to your tied to your confidence, what is attached to your confidence, I should say, but it's also something that we need to create powerful change, is this devil energy. Capricorn, Saturn, the things that we resist to change, the security that we are always seeking out. Sometimes we seek out security in the old routines of things because that's what we know. I have been listening to this book, Body Keeps Score, and it's been really interesting because it talks about PTSD and how people put themselves back in the kind of same positions that they've had with trauma because that's what they know. And this is something like this for you. You keep dealing with it because this is something that you know, and that's something that you're confused on. What does it have to do with? It has to do with the relationships with others. When we have the Six of Potions, this is linked back to the relationships with others from our past. Then we have the World card. Oh my goodness. That's crazy, y'all. There's something here that you need to step out of and step into yourself. This is what this is saying, because for some reason you always feel like you're surrounded with the same type of energies. And the whole thing is, there's a part to your past that you haven't healed yet, and this part is the part that makes you keep replaying but also redoing the way you've done things when you were younger. Oh my goodness. So the example that I could give you, it has to do with, how do I put this? Okay, I'll give you two examples. So when I was in therapy, my therapist talked to me about our homes and how people that we have certain relationships are only allowed in certain parts of our home. And a person who we have a great relationship, who we trust, of course we'll let them come into our bedroom. But say like the mailman, we're not going to let him into our bedroom. We would let him, say, up to the front door, maybe into the entryway. You know, maybe a co-worker we would let into the front door, into the entry, and maybe to the living room and to the kitchen, just depending on our relationship with this co-worker and how close we are. So when it comes to work, because I've had this happen recently, when it comes to work kind of situations, when it comes to dealing with communities, you have to step into your place of power and show people that you're giving them permission to be there with you, in a sense. For me, when dealing with over dominating energies, I've recently had the lead tell me is, you don't let your clients enter the room first, because that's showing you're giving them the alpha. You must enter the room first and turn and invite them in. That's you inviting them into your space. So you are at that point alpha and they are there as guests. I hope you got that one. And I'm feeling like this is something that you need to do here is you need to realize the position that you play in things. You're playing that position. You are playing that position, but you need to fully step into it. And it comes with your body language as well. It comes with the way you talk, and it comes with the way that you handle things as well when it comes to when you're feeling surrounded by things, people, places, whatever. But that is how you're gonna unattach whatever this is because you got to create that change in the way that you run things, the way that you put yourself out there in a sense. But let's go ahead. We'll ask the angels of protection to help protect us. And let's take a dive into the block and see what's really going on with this shadow side of things. Yeah, you have to. I mean, I know some of us work in businesses where we have to create customer service skills. Yes, that is a thing. But we have to understand as well as the customer's not always right. And the customer is a guest in our place. And our guest should act accordingly. Because if you think about it, if you have a guest in your home, you don't let them run amok. So this is going to go for your physical home and your inner home, because remember, you take your inner home with you wherever you go. So when you're dealing with these energies and you let them push you around, this is them pushing you around even in your inner home. You open the door to them and now you're letting them do whatever they want. No, that's not how it goes. So we have some stuff here for the block. Let's see what's going on. But definitely something needs to change with how you're viewing yourself. And 5 of Coins in reverse says it. You need to get out of the cold with yourself. Believing in the impossible could be believing in yourself. Seeing the leader that you are. Seeing what you're meant to do and why you're in the position that you're in. One of the things is you have to get up and make movement. You have to get out of the way of these people. I mean, Cancerians, you are very talented in being able to read between the lines with people. You're able to pick up the very vibrations that they're coming in with. And that's something that you need to take into consideration. That's a part of your superpower there. And you were gifted with that for a reason, because this is communication that you're getting from that seed. What's the seed? That divine seed that we have within us. That seed that connects us to a higher power. It wasn't given to us to defeat us, to make us feel like we have to run away from things, try and get away from people when they're acting right, when they're acting crazy. No. It wasn't to confuse us either on who we want to be. Because a lot of times we have this Empress, we have High Priestess here. Let's talk about this. This is a lot of water energy. This is a lot of thinking with the emotions. But we also have the Empress with Venus. Love here. Wanting to relate to others. Wanting to create these really nice, balanced, stable communities. And that's something that you've been trying to forge your way to. And being able to see that again is getting out of the way of these others when they're trying to take aim at you. And it comes at seeing that you have these resources to give yourself something different. Maybe it's not racing off. Maybe it's merely observing what's going on. Taking in the information that's being given to you. through your passions. There's a reason why you see what you see, because you care. It's a part of your passions. If you didn't care, it wouldn't matter. Now you can use this as an investment to forge your way into things, especially if you want to enhance the things that you are doing. But you have to believe in that communication that's coming into you. Something else here is having this personal success in the relationships with others, with places, with the very things that we are very passionate about. For some reason you're very confused. You're confused on how your journey has affected everything. When it comes to others, wanting to celebrate with others. In a sense, you hold yourself back. You hold yourself back because you're worried about the opinions of others. And this is why you haven't found that full success yet when it comes to the relationships around you. But the whole thing is, you have to be careful with not keeping others' misery company, because they want to latch onto you and keep you where they're at. Because you got to remember, if they're not succeeding, you better not succeed, because that makes them feel less. That's their mentality there. And for you, you could be translating it as, I don't want to leave somebody out. I want to be relatable. I want to be somebody that others can depend on. There's a load of reasons why you want to stay there, but the whole thing is, if you want your community to do better, you got to be that example. And you have to ask them to meet you there. You can forge the way. You can show them how to do it. You can set the example. Is everybody going to follow in the community? Maybe yes, maybe no. But the whole thing is, you're going to ask them to meet you there. That's it. Because the Empress is not going to come down from where she's at just to go to where people want to keep themselves in misery, where they don't want to do anything for themselves. That's the same with this High Priestess energy. Think about the people who work hard for the things they have. Would you throw it all away just because somebody else has less than you, because they don't want to do the work that you've been doing? No. Now that just isn't a material thing, that's a spiritual thing as well. That's an energetic thing. And this is the very thing that you're coming into conflict with, because you're getting ready to level up if you choose to, but you have to step into your personal power. Whatever it is that's surrounding you, you have to, or makes it feel like you're surrounded, you have to sit there and you have to observe it. Go within and feel exactly what that trigger is. Does it have to do with a particular energy? Feminine versus masculine? Does it have to do with, say, maybe something of overpowering? Does it have to do with abandonment? Does it have to do with the fear of loss? These are some questions that you have to ask yourself, Cancerian, and then move from there to start healing it. Because you have places you need to go. You have places that you're meant to lead. That's what I always get with the Cancerian here. But first, we have to overcome this one part in the shadow side here. It is. It's hard. It's hard when you're going into the shadow side. I had a dream. I'll share this. I usually share my dreams with Libra for some reason, but Cancerian, this is definitely a dream right here for you. So my dream last night, I was in this place and I had been trying to talk to people. I've been trying to warn people about things because I could see what was going to happen. And chaos broke out. And I sat there and I was face to face with this woman. And I told her, you guys, I don't know why you can't listen to me. I can see things. I can hear things. I can feel the energies around before stuff happens at times. Even what we don't see is happening. Please, I'm begging this person to trust me. And for some reason, this feminine energy won't trust what I'm trying to tell them. And this chaos ends up happening, and we ended up flipping to the night, and I'm walking out from where this chaos was happening. It's raining, it's cold, it's dark, and I'm upset because I felt abandoned. And in this book that I was listening to, if you don't have a supportive community, a community that backs you, there will be some type of emotions of abandonment. So this could be something here for you, Cancerian. This is definitely something that you can think about, but really explore the triggers, because this is how you do it. Just like what I was deciphering this dream, if I was to go into a little detail, what it is you have a feminine energy that I'm faced with. A feminine energy that's not listening to me. So that tells me right there I'm having issues with feminine energy and not feeling the nurturing. A lot of feminine energy is nurturing. It's also mercy, kindness, acceptance, and compassion. So at that moment, that's what's lacking in that dream. And the fact that it switched to night and it's raining shows me that I was in my shadow side of things, of dealing with a trigger. The part where I'm walking out by myself, that is the cue of the abandonment. So again, observe what's happening, and then when you have time, start to sift through what's going on with these situations and sift through what is that emotion that's making you feel so unbalanced. And right there, that's when you start to get to the root of things. And that's when you can start to ask questions, start to do research, and start to heal. Alrighty. So we made it to the conclusion, Cancerian. Divine and universal energy, please give us some wonderful, beautiful, inspiring, positive messages here for this Cancerian frequency. So we'll start off with the 2 right away. The first one, when it comes to where you want to go, especially with you really wanting to work into your experiences, the knowledge that you've gained this whole time, it's seeing that you have those unlimited possibilities. Standing tall and believing that you have those unlimited possibilities, reaching, always reaching up towards the sky, towards the divine, to help. Believe in the flow, the different seasons that come when we're working towards our unlimited possibilities. Something that we're not seeing and that we're at odds ends is retreat. No, it's not time to cower away. It may be time to take a break. It may be time to take a mental break, a physical break, an emotional break. Give yourself time just to sit and observe things. Remember, that's one of our biggest messages here, is being able to observe. Maybe instead of reacting, again, we retreat, but not to cower it away, Let them speak their minds. You actively listen and just observe what's going on. There's a big power in observation not many people are aware of. Sometimes you never know, whatever it is who is ever pushing back with you, they could be pushing back with you and it has nothing to do with you. Maybe it's just some kind of control that they're trying to reach because they're having chaos in their personal lives. You never know what's happening with people. I'm not trying to give excuses for others, but there's always a rhyme to the reason, I'm hearing to say. Alright, something else is we need to release. We need to release. When we start exploring these triggers, start exploring the roots of them, be open to letting yourself release, cleanse out. Giving yourself time to breathe. Giving yourself time to grieve as well. Something else you're at odds ends and you're not seeing is the circle of life. It's all good. It is all good. It's all bad if you want it to be all bad, but it could be all good if you want it to be good. Everything comes to full circle. That's it. That is it. If you can honor the flow of life, then you will understand that you are where you're at. You're meant to be there. You're meant to interact with certain people because these certain people are there to trigger you in a sense so that you can confront that fear. A lot of people look at being triggered as always a bad thing. If you have PTSD, I for one can tell you being triggered is really, really hard to work through. I have PTSD. I actually, I almost face it. I could almost face it on a daily. I do get some weeks where it's really good and it's not hard, but on those other ones, before I've done therapy, before I actually started doing the work with therapy to try and heal, I would shut down. I would definitely get the tunnel vision and I would withdraw. One of the things that I have is severe social anxiety. And every day that I go to work, I make sure to say hi to everybody and I make sure to greet them genuinely. It's not, I enjoy it. I enjoy getting to know people, but that's my way of combating my social anxiety because I know if I want to get better at not letting my social anxiety run my day, then I have to do the work for that. I have to do the work to keep it at bay, basically. So there could be something here that you have to practice on a daily to help you step into that personal power, bring you to the will to step into that personal power, because it does come down to our free will as well. And some days it's harder. Some days it is harder, but you know what? Every day that we show up, every day that we're given a chance to show up, it's a blessing. It's a day to conquer your fears. Ooh, I like how that popped out. Popped out far though. Something that we're confused on is death. Oh my goodness, and that fell at a distance. Rebirth. Giving ourselves permission to change up. I mean, if you go to a play, they don't stay in all the same clothes. If you watch a movie, they're not in all the same clothes, kind of thing. Even in our entertainment, we see how artists will change up. It is not a crime to heal and to give yourself a rebirth, to give yourself a renewal. That is a part of you growing. being able to step more into your personal power, being able to get closer to the divine. Because that's how it works. The more you step into yourself, the more you start taking care of yourself, the more you start listening to that intuition, that seed from the divine, the more you start to heal. The more you start to feel the blessings that you have around you. Not just see the blessings, but actually feel the blessings that you have around you that money can't buy. All right, last card. What is the last card for the Cancerian? Last card. All right, last two cards. Something you're at odds and ends with is healing energy. There is not an expiration date, I'm hearing to say, when it comes to healing. You are never too old. You are never too late. You are always right on time. And sometimes it takes meeting certain people, being at certain places to help it come about. Again, those triggers. Now just understand, healing doesn't happen quick, fast, and in a hurry. It takes time. It takes days. It takes unwinding. It takes cleansing out. It takes accepting. It also takes having mercy and kindness for others, but mostly for ourselves when we begin this journey of healing things that trigger us. And it's okay. When I was dialing in earlier when I was walking, what I was hearing exactly to say is it's okay to take 3 steps forward and 2 steps back, because you're still ahead. You're still taking 1 step at a time, and that's what matters, Cancerian. Just know to show the world the real you, it's going to take releasing negativity, stepping into the confidence, seeing how you're good enough. And everything that you've been through is meant to open up lots and lots of possibilities, because you are somebody who runs a community. You are somebody who people come to, who people actually, when they connect with you, they really, really like you. They see what you bring in. Why? Because you have mastered stuff. You're still trying to master stuff. You know that there is so much more to grow still. You haven't reached the point where you're quite satisfied yet, because you still have a lot that you want to do. Remember, it takes a lot not to give up, and you haven't given up yet, Cancer. You haven't. So just know that you are amazing, and you're in this position of where you're at. You're feeling this specific trigger because it's time to heal it. All right. I hope this helps. And don't forget to thank your angels, ancestors, spirit guides, as well as divine and universal energy for coming on in and helping out. And as always, I hope that you have a most wonderful rest of your day.